topic is Power Pivot or Power Query. So basically, we have already understood the pivot table, right? We have already understood the pivot table, and then we have gone through the pivot chart, right? Pivot chart we need to learn. Basically, when you learn to apply the pivot table, na, then only it is basically a summarized form, right? It is basically a summarized from a table. From a normal table, it is summarized and it provides you an analyzed way in which from that table you can analyze the data. Okay, that is basically pivot table and nothing else. So similarly, depending upon that, you insert pivot table on a single table, right? But what happens if you get some a group of tables, like different tables, and they have some relation with each other, but they don't have the complete details? Let's say that there is a table in which the on with the student code you have your name and your class and your roll number, and there is another table in which on the basis of your student code there is your father's name and your mother's name. Then there is your there is one table in which there is your class and roll number, or you can say that on roll number, and on the basis of that roll number your marks, your subjects and marks are provided. So there are three different tables, and in all these three tables there are different data, but there is only one point that is connecting all of them. Like in first and second table the student code is there, and in the second and third table your roll number is there. So that is the basic relation. So in Power Pivot, what we used to do, basically we create relations between different tables, and then we create a data model. For example, let's see here in the Power Pivot, let's say there are 3 Excel sheets. Okay, so these 3 Excel sheets, if you'll see, so there are some different tables are there. For example, here is a table of cookie types. So in the cookie types there is a product name, and with these products name there is a revenue per cookie, like what you are earning and what is the cost of manufacturing the cookies. This is the detail that has been given in this. Coming to the customers, there is customer ID, name, address, everything. Like these are the details of the customers. Okay, now coming to the orders. So in orders, there is what? So there is a customer ID and this product means cookie type, that which cookie type is there and unit sold. So basically, if you'll see in all these three, you can see one thing, understanding it in this way. Like here, there is a table 1 headers. Now coming to this one, there is a table 2 header, and then there is a table 3 header. Right. So here are 3 different tables. I have provided you the table 1 headers, the table 2 headers, and this is table 3 headers. So now within these all 3, there is not a single table who has all the details, but there is what? There is a relation between all these 3. Like within this customer details, this is the customer ID that is common, correct? This is a customer ID. This is a relation between this table number 1 and table number 2, because customer ID you do have. What is the relation between table number 3 and table number 1? So that is the cookie type, and the cookie type and product. This is the relation between table number 2 and table number 3, right? So this is what basically you need to do. That first you need to create a relation between all these 3. You need to add them to a table, add them to a data model. Basically, that is a tool that is known as data model. Okay, so you need to add them to the data model so that you can create a pivot table including all the headers of these 3. Okay, all the headers of these 3 tables, these different tables. Like let's say if you want to figure out that how many cookies have been sold and what was the revenue of that cookie, total revenue, total cost, what is the profit. So for that, you need to create a relation between this product and this cookie. Then only what you can do, you can multiply the revenue of cookies by unit sold and cost per cookie into unit sold. Then only you can find the difference, and then only you will be able to figure out the profit, that what is the profit of that total, right? So this is what we are going to do. So let's see how we are going to do it. Okay. You must be thinking, ki bhai, why would be doing this much of things, ki adding to data model or learning a new tool? Rather than that, we can like implement VLOOKUP. Obviously, we can implement VLOOKUP on the basis of customer ID or on the basis of product, and then we can get the uh, cost and the revenue and cost of production, right? Like there is a way, obviously, but why we do this? Because when you are working in a company, so there is a very limited detail you have provided. Like this table is very small, even if only having 700 line items in this, and this there are only 5 products or 6 products are there, and there is only 5 to 6 customers are there. But in actual life, basically what happens, this customer list will keep increasing. Okay, this number of product, like the product category will be keep increasing, this revenue and cost would be keep changing, and similarly this list of sales would be keep continuing, correct? So that is why we use data model, because in that what it will help now, every time we will be adding some data here in this table, it will get updated in the report for automatically. That is why we used to add it to a data model. Okay, so the first thing what we need to do, just open the new Excel sheet. Okay, first what we need to go do, basically it is already activated here, the power pivot is already activated, but in most of the cases what we need to do, first we need to go to file, then there is options here in the options, then you will go to add-ins. Okay, add-ins, here you will get power pivot. So basically not here in this particular list you will be getting the power pivot. You'll just select it, let's say you'll select it here, and then here you'll go to go. Okay, and then you'll select that particular power pivot, and then you'll select OK, and then you'll get this particular tab here as power pivot. Okay, so now what happens, like here you need to import data, add to data model, right? So what you need to add to data model, so you will be selecting this data, manage the data, and first what I did, first from power pivot I went to manage. Okay, from manage I need to what, I need to add data. So I need to add data from where? So from other sources. So from other sources I have added a data. I'm selecting Excel file. Okay, now I'll browse the location, like where the files are. So then I'll go to this one, Excel. This is the folder. This one, open. Like this. First I have opened this. The cookie type. You need to first close all this, or else it will create an issue, error. Coming back to this, I have selected cookie type. Correct. Now what I'll do, I'll just open it. Okay. Next, this is the header. Correct. You can also preview and filter. So you can preview that, okay, this is the data, we are getting it. And what you can do, you can also implement filter. So I pressed OK. Successfully, 7 rows have been transferred. Okay. Now, why we do all this thing now? Basically, look, we have got this. Basically, this has been imported incorrectly. It's a bit tricky because we need to check all these things. So from the cookie types we have selected, here we need to take this use first row as column header. Okay, that is what I was thinking, that why we are getting this issue, because normally if it is automatically tagged, that is why. Now you can see that here is the cookie. Now there is a revenue per cookie and cost per cookie. Okay, so we need to take that particular tool so that it will implement that the first row is having the headers. Now you can press OK. So now if we'll finish, so now we can we have extracted the total row. Now this is the complete correct data. Okay, so we need to see every time that either we are adding the correct data or not. Now again going to the same thing, doing the same activity, adding the Excel. Next, Now this time we'll be adding what we have already added custom cookie type. So we'll be adding customers. Use first row as column headers. Next, you can preview it that it is getting completely correct or not. So it is done. Okay, and finish. So you have got this. Now you can see that in the first sheet it is cookie type. The second sheet is customers, and the third sheet would be of product details. Here it is correct, right? There are some additional headers. Okay, right. So now you have got the data. Now what you need to do? Now you need to create relation between all these three, because earlier there is no relation between all these three. Right, what I just said, that you have a relation between cookie types and orders. You have a relation between customers and orders. Now you need to create relation between cookie type, customers, and orders. All of them you need to relate. For that, what you'll do, you just go to the diagram view. In the diagram view, you will get the headers of all these three. Right?
Yes.
We'll get the order headers of all these three. So what I'll do, I'll move it in such a way so that we must have the relation. This is the way, because this particular order has product that is related to this table and customer ID that is related to this table. So first I'll create the relation with the customer ID. I just selected it and just moved it. Okay. Similarly, we will be moving this cookie type with. So we have created this relation. Now coming back to the data. Now here, okay. Now just normally rename this table as cost of production. You can put it here, na, cost of production, right? So now here I need to calculate the cost of production. For that, what I need to do, I need to multiply this unit with this. In the cookie type, there is cost per cookie, right? So what I need to do, for cost of production, I need to multiply this with. So what I'll do, I'll just provide equal to. Let's say I have added a new column with total cost. Okay, here what I can do, here I'll multiply equal to related. So now related, which header I need to calculate? Cost per cookie, correct? I need to cost per cookie. For that, I'll press tab. Okay, bracket close, into what? Into unit, exactly. From orders it is unit sold. I'll just press that one. Even not being in this particular data, there is no cost included in this, even though we are getting the results. Why we are getting the results? Because we have created a relation. We have created the relation between this particular table and the another one, the cookie type. Now you must be thinking that why we are doing all these things when we can simply just apply VLOOKUP and get the results, right? We can just simply provide VLOOKUP, na? But the point is, the only benefit of doing this is you don't need to mess up with the data. Your raw data, your database will remain same, being untouched. And the second and most important part is as the database will increase, these reports will get updated automatically. So you don't need to do it on a daily basis. Okay. That is why we use PowerPivot. Okay. So this is the same thing. Again, you need to what? Again, you need to go get total revenue. So for the total revenue also, what you need to do, you need to implement like this. Here, you know what? These are the extra columns that have been included, because in that table, like we can delete this column. because when we were inserting this table now, these were selected. These were also in that particular table. These extra columns were also available there as in the as a part of table. That is why they have converted here as tables. So we need to make sure that there is no extra columns that have been added into that table, because this will affect this area, this data. So as I have got this total cost, similarly, we can go get the total revenue. Again, what I'll do equal to relatable. So now whenever you will be typing, you won't be able to see anything here. You will be seeing everything in the formula tab. Okay. So formula bar related. Now what we need to do? Revenue tab bracket close into unit sold. Correct. Now, for unit sold, I don't need to write related. Why? Because the unit sold is in this particular table only. But revenue is not into this table, but it is into some related data, related table. That is why first I need to create related, and then I need to find out all the headers, they are related to this particular table. Okay. Now you can see that here profit. So for figuring out the profit, what you can do, you can just do it here, total. Now you have what? Total revenue, correct? Minus total cost. Now what you can do, now here there is a tool, like this is it. This is it about PowerPivot. First you created the relation, and as per the relation you have created your own headers. Okay. Now what you need to do, from here you can just go to the pivot table. Okay. Now there are options, 2 charts, 4 charts, or you can go to the pivot table as well. So you came to this pivot table, and what you said, you need it in a new worksheet. You just came to the pivot table. Now here, as you have created the relation, so what you will get all these three. In these three, you can see that there are the headers from all these three. Okay, this you can see now, just because we have all these three tables. First one is this order, the customers, and the third one is cookie types, right? So we have the headers from all these three. So what we will do, let's say we will first from the customer, we will be selecting customer name. Okay, this is the customer name. From the cookie, we need to select cookie type. Okay, so these customers have ordered this cookie type. We can move this cookie type to column, right? We have moved this cookie type to the column, and now from there we can figure out the total profit we are getting. Okay, because in the order table we do have what? Total cost, profit, everything you can see here, right? Total revenue, total cost, whatever it is. So we have got all the details. So here we are getting all the details. So similarly, what I mean to say, that you can easily create a relation between all these three tables with the help of your pivot table, and then you can add them into the data model. You can create a relation between them, and then you can get the result as per your requirement. Okay, let's say somebody is saying we need the total revenue, somebody is saying we need the total cost, somebody is saying we need to see that how many units have been sold. Okay, so these are basic differences, and somebody will be saying that, okay, I want to know the cost as per the cookies, like how many units have been sold and what is the cost of that particular cookie. So there are different requirements on the basis of the data. Okay, while making a decision, we need to analyze the data before making any decision. So this is how you create a relation between different database, and that basically adding into PowerPivot helps you, because if even if the data will get updated now, along with that this report will get updated automatically. Okay, so if in the Excel sheet anything extra will be added, that addition will be done in the data model as well. What you need to do, you just need to refresh it once. Okay, once you will refresh it, So all the data that has been added to the table will get updated here as well. Okay. This is what about Power Pivot. Now coming to Power Query. Okay. Now coming to the Power Query. So what we have done, like we have enabled the Power Pivot, right? Understand, import data, transform data model to create a report, use load to transform data. Correct. We have done all these things. So now coming to the pivot. Look, this is what I was saying, that when you will go to the add-ins now, you will get what? You will get the Power Pivot somewhere. Then you need to go, and then you will be adding the Power Pivot, okay, into your Excel. Then you will add the data. You had a different, like you had many different options. So we have added it from the data from other source, right? We have imported the data. Basically, coming to this Power Query, so what is the use of this Power Query? So basically, this Power Query is nothing but it just simplifies the common data. I don't have the tool for the Power Query, because now earlier there was add-in that was available for the Power Query. Right now, we don't have that tool for Power Query. So it is just a theoretical concept, because it is also helping in this Power Pivot. Whatever we have done right now, practically, this particular Power Query, this tool also helps in the same processing. Okay. So this is the total theoretical process. You can also go through the description and all. Yeah, basically, there are different tools that needs to be used. Okay. So the Power Query was additional tool in available, but in 365 there is no power query tool that is available. That is why I can't teach you. Okay, this is, you can go through the theoretical explanations what it is. Power query basically is, it is just for the analysis purpose also. Like the way we have used Power Pivot now, the Power Query is the same thing. Okay, but this tool is not available at in the MS Office 365.